death is not the opposite of life but a part of it. So what would happen if death could itself experience the life? So I was asking the same question. So I recently watched a film, Meet Joe Black by Brad Pitt, starring Brad Pitt in it. It was released in 1998. So it's one of those films that answer your question, that what would happen if you could experience life for the first time, if that itself could experience those things, like eating, touching sensation and everything like that. So what would happen? So its movie answers all those questions, and there are things that I did not really like about this film, or they could have improved, or maybe this film was not made for me, or I don't think so. There was some sort of problem that I see in this film, but there are some parts that I really enjoyed. So if you look at the film, this film take place in 1998, and it's one of the wonderful. If you talk about the scenes and cinematography, the color grading and the costume designing, everything look fantastic because it has those brightly lit films and the costume design. If you look at the character of Brad Pitt, and you be like, yeah, damn, he's in sexy, yes, because Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt. Has his own aura around himself. So Brad Pitt, a really charismatic guy, his charisma and everything, charming personality and everything. So he carried the film. I was really hooked. So basically, I was watching the film from Brad Pitt. What can I say? I can't blame myself. Okay, so if we talk about the story, so this is the death which is Brad Pitt. It wants to experience life, and it asks the character of William Parrish, and Bill Parrish to be his guide and let him guide how to see the world from, be his guide and let him enjoy the life. So he chose the body of some guy. So he became the guy Black. Joy Black is made up name, that choose his made up name, and then they start to live life, and he's living in his mansion, and he's eating food and enjoying things. And if you look at the starting conversation between him and other guys and his family and everything, it's so awkward and everything. But it's why it's awkward, I'm gonna answer that as well. Why it feels so awkward when he is talking to other people. And if you look at the last scene of the film, where he suddenly start acting mature, and he's like, I'm a IRS agent, I'm gonna expose everything, and you've been doing that thing wrong, very wrongly, and you have done a corruption or whatever you want to say, you have done fraud or scam or everything. So how one can act awkwardly and still have knowledge? So I'm gonna tell you with an example. It's like a person who has read thousand book about food, but it has not experienced the food itself. So if that Joy Black, he has read people, he has seen people do things, he has seen people do fraud, scam, everything, live life and everything, but it has not itself experienced the life. So when he is meeting people, having conversation for the first time, and when he is eating food and everything, and when he is in the meetings and everything, he is acting awkward because he is first time feeling those things, experiencing those things. So that's what creates the beauty in the film. And then when the thing goes seriously, he can act mature because he has the knowledge. But he understand the world intellectually with his mind, but he has not feel the earth or understand the earth with his emotion. Emotionally, he has not connected with earth, with the world. But when he started to live on the world, he become he became emotionally attached to things, and then he understand the values, how people and how humans experience life. So that's what creates the beauty in this film. That's really interesting to see how it will feel. And when he is starting to fall in love with the, so when he start to fall in love with the character of Susan, which is the daughter of Bill Parrish and everything. But if you look at those things, you understand that life, that itself feel very difficult to leave her, because it's become difficult when you become too attached to the world. So same thing is happening when he's becoming too attached to her. It started to become difficult for him as well to leave the earth and go on and move on in his mission. So that's the same thing with our human ourselves, because we are too attached with this world, and that's what it creates the beauty. Because if we were present on earth for infinite time, we wouldn't really care about time, and we would waste our time. But if you look at that, we have limited time on this earth, and that's why we try to use or utilize our time maximum as much as we can. So that's the purpose, and that's what Joy Black realized, that he has to uh, experience all those things in the limited time period, and then he has to go. And that's what create beauty, because it's gonna end. When you know it's gonna end, that's what's give meaning to life itself and everything. So that is giving meaning to life, and then he also understanding those things. So that's what creates the beauty. But what I was talking about, the part I really don't understand was there was no ground rule set for death itself. Death has bring back a person from death, and because somebody has died and he bring back the soul of that person back, and then why he could not save everyone, why could he help everyone. And he's been like, first he was acting like everyone has his own time, every rules, because I can't take person life earlier or delay his time on earth. But why does he bring back somebody from that? So there are rules. What are the limitations? What does the nature say about time or death or everything? So they have not answered those questions. Maybe that was not the main target, or maybe I was the wrong audience for the movie. I really don't know. But if you talk about this, maybe the purpose, I think so, they didn't answer. They never wanted to send some ground rules or rules and regulation. How does the nature work? How does life, God, or everything? They didn't want to talk about those things, but they just wanted that entity like that. How would it experience life for the first time, and how would it itself become so attached to the world that he started to enjoy peanut butter, and he started to enjoy the company, a company of Susan and everything. So he become emotionally attached itself. So that's what creates the beauty. And overall the film story concept is, I really enjoyed that part. And the cinematography, the color grading, the whole, whatever you want to say about those costume and everything, I really like that. Brad Pitt is Brad Pitt, that I wanna say. And then there could have been some improvement about the story or something like that, rules grounding. There must be some consequences of bringing back. Maybe that was not their part, but I think so. I was liking. I was curious about those things. Maybe that they didn't answer. So that was maybe my fault, or maybe the, I don't know. If I have to give this film a rating of, I will give this film a rating of 3.3. I really like the film. It is a must-watch film. You must watch. Must watch. You can watch this film for a great time. If you want to have, if you have time in your spare, you must watch this film. So that was all from my side. That was my honest review or everything I got from this film. So I will see you guys in the next film. That was all from my side. See you guys in the next video. Till then, goodbye. How I'm gonna repeat too many times.